Hello, and welcome to my guided tour for my ETEC 590 e-portfolio. My name is Emily Taylor, and I created this electronic portfolio in order to fulfill the capstone experience requirements of the Masters of Educational Technology, or MET, program at the University of British Columbia. Initially, I began my studies in an entirely different program, and my driving goal was the desire to amass a wealth of resources, ideas, and skills in order to both enhance my teaching practice and enhance my students' learning experiences. After a year, I switched into MET as I was looking for greater challenges and more opportunity to explore and shape my teaching style. This e-portfolio will showcase the challenges and successes, the individual learning, the connections I made within and across courses, as well as my ability to apply and link research theory to my professional practice. Every artifact I've chosen to include will all relate to my initial goal of enhancing my students' learning experiences, be it either in a traditional classroom or online setting. For example, every artifact, whether it be the artifact itself, what I learned from creating the artifact, or the type of technology used to create the artifact, has a place in making for a more engaging learning experience for my students. I used Wix.com to create this site, as you can see up here. I used Wix because I'd never used it before, and I truly wanted this last MET experience to be a personal challenge in regards to the technology I was using. In terms of navigation, my main menu bar is up here. There are sections as you go from left to right, and each of these sections have sub-pages that I will discuss a little bit later. At the bottom of each page, there is a blue Next button, which will take you to the next page in a linear fashion in my ePortfolio. If at any time you want to go back here on the, or down here on the bottom right, is a blue back button, and that will take you to the previous page. There are also external and internal links. Anytime you see text that is highlighted and bolded in blue, that will take you either to an artifact or an external page, or perhaps another page within my site. Now for my metaphor. As you can see from my title up here and my pictures, I've chosen a grocery shopping trip. Because of switching programs halfway through, I had a hard time deciding on a metaphor that could bridge both of these programs, and I decided on a grocery shopping trip as I'm able to relate every aspect of a shop, which is actually something that I love to do and I do very often, to my studies over the last 2 years. There are 5 sections to my grocery shopping trip metaphor, each which I'll discuss right now. The first section is called the plan, and as you can see here, every section has an introduction that basically relates my learning in this area to my metaphor. So here is my introduction. Following that are the pages which cover the courses that I included in this part of the metaphor. So for my plan, I always know when I'm going grocery shopping how much time I have to shop and what I'm going to buy, where I'm going to go. I had a plan as well when I began my master's, what courses I was going to take, what degree I'd graduate with, how long it would take. And although this plan eventually changed, these 3 courses right here, these 3 pages, are the first 3 courses in my original plan. So EDCP 523, EDCP 585, and EDCP 512. The second section I'm going to discuss is the essentials. Metaphorically, I relate this section to the basic necessities that I always purchase on a grocery shopping trip, things like milk and eggs. I relate them to the 2 of the core MET courses that every student must take. Here I explore ETEC 511 and ETEC 510. The impulse buys is the third section of my metaphor. You know, these are the things that you buy, you don't really need them, but they just look so enticing while you're shopping. And I relate these to my electives during my learning journey. And I was only ever able to take 2 because of my switch. And one of these was a face-to-face math assessment course, EDCP 441, and the second was a MET course, ETEC 530. The budget is my next section, and for my grocery trips, budget is a reality, and I also created a budget for my ePortfolio. Early on in the construction process, I decided I would only include a maximum of 2 artifacts per course in order to, number 1, not overwhelm my audience, and number 2, to really give impact to the artifacts that I wanted to display. So here I discuss ETEC 512 and ETEC 500, as these were the two courses. I had a really hard time sticking to this two per course budget, as I wanted to include every single assignment from both of these courses. My final section is the checkout and beyond, and in my mind, the checkout is not the end of a grocery shopping trip. You still need to get your purchases home, put them away, decide when and how to use them in the future. Same goes for my learning journey through MET. ETEC 590 is not the end of my professional development, so this section is where I discuss my present and future goals regarding this e-portfolio as well as my teaching career. And my final thought is that although I started in a strictly face-to-face cohort and ended up finishing in an online setting, I feel fortunate that I'm coming away with numerous skills, resources, and approaches that can be integrated and implemented into both types of learning environments. Thanks for visiting my e-portfolio. I hope you enjoyed it.